What up? Another episode of making something out of nothing. So on New Year's Day we did some high-speed runs. Me and my fiance, and I took a friend out as well, and we did some high-speed runs. And these gaskets were new in about May 2018. I put them in right before my event because I like to just take those precautions. And if you blow a gasket, you're running the wrong air fuel ratios, and you're gonna run a lot leaner when you're flooring it, and it just messes up your whole air fuel ratio system. So luckily I took those precautions, but them things are long gone, and it's time to do some more maintenance and take care of this car, because one day it's gonna take care of me. It's gonna be a champion car one day. It's so beautiful, ain't it? I love the ass end of this car. Sorry for the unflushness going on here, but I had to revert the stock lower, or the extended lower control arms I had, back to stock. I don't like it. I hate the way it looks. It looks like dookie, but we're gonna fix that soon. There's an event on the 13th. STF is throwing at Fuji, and I'm trying my best to make it out there. Just a couple more things to get going on the car. There's gonna be some scouts out there scouting drivers, so who knows, I might get scouted and get sponsored or something, I don't know. But at the end of the day, we're still just gonna have some fun, you know, keep drifting fun, as they say. And no matter how far I take drifting, that's always gonna be in the back of my mind to keep it fun. So yeah, let's get to it. Maintenance day. This is like every drifter's best friend, zip ties. But yeah, man's best friend, zip ties, because instead of having your body kit can get destroyed because it's permanently attached to the car, it'll just pop right off and you can just pop it right back on. So gimme.
Yeah, check this out, my nigga. What's up? So a lot of niggas out here, they got a lot of shit to motherfucking say, yeah. But when the niggas bring it to them niggas, what's up? They can't stand up for what they
This one wasn't too bad. Fuck it, we're gonna replace them all anyway.
Alright, so we got our tools we need. Might need an extension. 13 for the downpipe. I have to loosen the strut bar too, but let's get to wrenching on the bottom.
They don't want it with us, dude. If the motherfuckers do bust a motherfucking move. You got an alligator mouth and a hummingbird ass. Your mouth writing checks that your ass can't pass.
So now we got that pipe attached from the high flow, detached from the high flow cap. Let's just take it off the hangers, and it'll be a lot easier to work on. All right, this thing has been through hell. This thing has been through hell. Look at the tip. That's from Ebisu. When I smacked the car dipped in one of the turns, and there's a missing concrete in the floor, and I wall tapped and dropped the whole fucking right tire in the dirt, and that ended up happening.
Middle finger to life, so nothing seemed critical in the hood. I'm typical. Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's spiritual. Getting real. This shit up my kitchen. I'm pitching it. It's really good. Smoking, drinking. I'm like a fish, and I probably shit on your bitch. Probably piss on the lips, and she probably give you a
one in between wasn't too bad. It actually looks pretty decent. This was what I changed right before the event. I might keep this as a spare. I know you're not supposed to reuse gaskets, but it's better to have something than to have nothing. So the gasket of my choice are these bad boys. I get them from Up Garage. They're pretty cheap. They get the job done. Never really had a spontaneous combustion of these. They usually last pretty long, and I like them. Let's see what these bad boys can do this time. So yeah, I learned from Jason Park, the guy who actually got me into riding BMX when I was a kid, that, you know, your exhaust leaks can throw off your air fuel ratios. I didn't know that, and I was wondering why it was happening, but the last time I blew out gaskets, you're normally supposed to read like in the 11s, high 11s when you're wide open throttle, and I was getting like 13s, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And what do you have it? I had bad exhaust gaskets last time, so just trying to stay ahead of the game this time. Always put them on back how I found them. Just habits. So my old clip for the O2 sensor snapped off, so I ended up just using a zip tie to wrap it around. Haven't had any problems since. Whatever works, works, man. Yeah. There's the O2 sensor. I'm gonna have to redo all of these zip tie mounts. Whoops! That just fell to the ground. But yeah, there's the O2 sensor. And now it's time to disconnect the downpipe from the turbo. Shouts to Tomei, man. I've had the best response with this turbo manifold. I didn't do the best wrap on it, but still, it's been what, over a year? And it's still holding up fine with the wrap, so it's alright. Alright, so we made more progress. Got this bad boy off. This one looks okay, but I'm gonna change it anyway since we already have it all taken apart. Shout out to HKS. This thing has been amazing to me. The car sounds amazing with it on there. This little scratch guard on there. It's a high flow cat. Gets the job done. These beautiful welds. But let's check out the gasket that came off the downpipe. This thing is, I think it's safe to say this thing is gone. Look at it cracking. That was split. It split all across here. But luckily, we got the newness. This is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looks like. This is only after 1 year, man. It's crazy how important maintenance is. Crazy. Alright. So, I took that off of there. Last thing we gotta do is, alright, I'm working around this jack stand. But last thing we gotta do is take these 3 bolts off the bottom here, and then we'll be able to take this downpipe off of the turbo right here. And then we can change the gasket out right there. We're just doing all the gaskets. And as you can see, there's still some Ebisu on here. Man, this whole thing is just full of Nishi course. Holy fuck. It ain't just Nishi course, Toge course, all that. Also, shouts to Rays. You guys make awesome wheels. I got the 57 Extremes on the car right now. Goddamn, the sun is bright as fuck. But yeah, I got the 57 Extremes on the car right now, and these things hold up like fucking tramps. These gram lights are awesome, and Also, these works are pretty awesome. I've experienced actually when I first got into drifting, you know, there was like a thing with P45s when they came out, and you know, I hopped on that wave when I had my S14, and we were drifting one day. I hit a curb, the wheel exploded, and ever since then I was like, I'm never repping fake wheels again. So I hopped on the work wheels, and I crashed again with work wheels on there, but this time the work wheels didn't explode. They actually held true, and instead of the wheels breaking, the wheels decided to destroy my whole suspension. So from that point on, I knew like real wheels, forged wheels are the way to go, because those things are strong as fuck, and you know, they can protect you if something were to happen. So don't cheap out on any part, really, because you get what you pay for, man. Alright, so let's take a look at what's on the cat. Just took this one off. Oh, this one was actually pretty decent too, so I'll keep this as a spare as well. So it's probably just the downpipe making all that raspy noise, that exhaust leak noise, because this thing is blown out. Just look at it, look at the condition. You do not want to be rocking this on your car. Look at that, exploded. Alright, so we got the downpipe off of the car. I think it's about time that I change this out. I think I might upgrade to the Tomei if I keep it the turbo bottom mount. Actually, yeah, I think I might do that. But I'm gonna wire brush these rusty ass bolts. Here's a gasket off of the backside of the turbo. It's not bad, but I'm gonna throw on the new one from D-Max. And you guys can check out some of the old gaskets I have lined up here. That one is fucked, but as you can see in this area, when you start seeing the black shoot past, that's usually a sign of like an exhaust leak. So this one was getting worn out versus the other ones. As you can see, the black ring of carbon isn't blown out, but this one is totally blown to shit. As you can see, look at that, you can see in between it. So we're gonna throw in some freshies. I got some more freshies. Gonna throw these on, gonna button it all back up, and then we're gonna test the car out to make sure that exhaust leak is gone. And then for lunch, we're gonna have some crab pasta. Alright, so we got the exhaust all nice and fitted up. New gasket on the downpipe, the turbo elbow. Last things I gotta do is finish putting the exhaust hooks on there, on the last two on the back. I have one holding it up just so I could tighten this up, and then put the body kit back on the side skirt. Then we gotta put the strut back, the strut brace, put the O2 sensor back together, tidy up all that stuff, and then fire it up and see how that goes. Hopefully there isn't any more exhaust leaks, because the only thing left would be the actual turbo manifold to the head. Alright, moment of truth. Oh Lord, the door almost smacked the floor. Well, fuck me, alright. So the last two gaskets I gotta change are where the head meets the turbo manifold and the actual turbo to turbo manifold gasket here, because there's still an exhaust leak up here, and I'm guessing that it's the gasket here that just blew out. So tune into next episode, I guess, and you'll see me get fucked again. So as you can tell by earlier, didn't go as planned. The leak wasn't what I thought it would be. Turns out it's coming from the either turbo manifold to the head, that gasket, or the turbo manifold to the turbo gasket. So my bet is the turbo manifold to the turbo gasket. So I'm gonna head over to the Nissan parts dealer, pick those up, and re-tear down the car and install those new parts. But it's gonna get taken care of one way or another. It's not a big deal. I've done that whole taking off the turbo and all that shit before. It's actually pretty fun, but just time consuming, especially my very first time. My very first time doing it was right before my first Ebisu Matsuri. My old manifold cracked the day before the event, and I spent the whole night taking that thing apart and putting it back together, and ended up driving up early in the morning to meet up with Kevin and Shane at Ebisu. But yeah, we'll get it handled, not a big deal. Just prepping the car, trying to make it for that January 13th event STF is throwing, and I hope to see you guys there. But on that note, I'm gonna hit the sack because I'm tired. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Yeah.